Hi, crafty friends. Mary here. I am working on my card submission for Card Roulette episode 103. The parameters are a mini card topper. A colors are calm, so any color that you consider calm will do the trick. The element is board games, and I think pretty much all of the participants have expanded the board game element to include pretty much any game there is. And the random is a hole punch. So I pretty much have come up with an idea, and I am going to put it all together. I have kind of my elements, since pretty much all of my elements are digital. I had to print them out and get them ready. The only thing that I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate yet is my hole punch, but I'll do that at the end. I think I have an idea. We'll see if it comes up. But let's see. So, mini card topper. I really didn't get a good idea. If I take it from all the discussion and stuff on Facebook and in the chat on Friday, that is a mini card topper is really just something you put that you top the card with, and it could be anything that's dimensional, anything that sits on top of the card. So what I'm making my mini topper, since I'm working with dice, I'm working with a Yahtzee theme. I'm gonna make it the dice. I'm gonna put some dice on the top and I'm gonna pop them up. So let's get busy. What I did was I just printed out some Yahtzee, printable Yahtzee scorecards. They're free. They were free on the internet. I just printed a couple of them out, and then I had digital paper in my stash that had dice, a background of dice. So I printed some out, and I die cut. I took it into Photoshop Elements and sized it to the size that I needed for an A2 card, and then I printed it and die cut it using a stitched rectangle die from MFT. Don't worry about the middle. I was trying to see because I'm going with my calm color and my happy color, which they're one and the same, purple, in this case lavender, a small a lighter shade of purple. So I was playing around with whether or not I was going to color the background, but I decided not to. I knew that the middle of the card was going to be hidden, so that's why I played around with the coloring in the middle. So this is my top card panel, and I printed it out, everything on the same sheet, and I printed it out on heavy cardstock, 130-pound cardstock. And when I printed it out, I knew that I was going to do it like a fan fold with these Yahtzees so that it looked like I had multiple cards stacked up when I put them on my card. So I didn't bother printing out 3 whole cards. I just printed out portions of them. So what I did was I just layered the images on top of each other, kind of like this, and printed it out so that they would take up the whole width of the paper, knowing that I was going to cut them so that all I needed was one full one more a little bit bigger, and one partial one. So now I can do this like that and arrange them the way I want to, knowing that I would need this left side and a little bit of the bottom. And I'm going to kind of do, fan them out. And what I did after I cut them is I inked them with the same purple, and I used shaded lilac, Distress Ink shaded lilac. So I'm not going to put any dimension on these. I'm just going to fan them out. And kind of like that. Yeah. turn them over and put adhesive on the back. And just stick it down. That's it. So that's layer number 1. So now I also, on the same sheet, I printed my sentiment that I created. I printed game night, our house, Friday night. Just so I'm going to put this on my card, and I did it 2 ways. I did it as a 1 sentiment block with a little bit of arch. So I don't know if I'm going to do it like this, or if I'm going to do it with kind of like this. And I think I'm going to do it like this, but I think I'm going to ink each of the, give dimension to, so they stand out against the background. And there should be enough ink on my stamp. I don't want them to be super saturated, just enough on the edges to pop up against the white of the paper. Yeah, something like that. And not popping these up either. So do they go on this side or do they go on this side? I think they're going to go on this side. Yeah, so, and I'm going to I was initially going to do Monopoly, but I saw somebody had Monopoly taken care of already, so I ended up changing my my game plan because I didn't want to, because ours, it was too close to what I had in mind, so I went with a different idea. There we go. That's pretty much it. This can go bye-bye. Okay, now here's my dice. And it's popped up. And here I'm going to show you something. On Friday during the chat, somebody had mentioned that they didn't have any wobbles, action wobbles, and that they had to come up with a way to make action wobbles. And somebody said, well, if you have wire, you can do it. And I had typed in, but I don't know if anybody noticed my typing in, that you could do it with paper. And this is something that I used to do a long time ago, but now I just buy the little plastic ones. But it's really easy. And I used to do this a long time ago when I was a kid with the wrapper of the chewing gum. It was just kind of a nervous habit or something. I would just, do it. And I would chain them up. It's kind of like that. Okay, so what you need is to do it is you need 2 strips of paper the same size. And when I start, I usually put a little bit of tape or glue on one of the pieces, just a little, and then you start them as on an angle, so perpendicular to each other. And then you start folding. And you try to keep your fold straight. So you're always working on a right angle. And so you're going to make a chain. You're knitting a chain almost. And you're going to build up your spring, your paper spring to the height or thickness that you want. And I already created one over here. You see? And you can make the width of your strips depending on how thick the element you're popping up is. Now you're not going to get a lot of movement like the Action Wobble, because the Action Wobble allows you to like boing, to move it when you hit it. This is really going to give you just more, a little bit of, so it is still paper, but when you don't have an Action Wobble and you don't have wire, or you don't want to work with wire, this gives you something to work with. Now for this set, I'm going to go a little bit lower than this because I want to put it underneath but still get dimension. So I'm going to just do this one last fold here. So I'm going to open it up and put another piece of another little strip of tape to stop or seal it, and then cut it off. There we go. Now obviously this is not going to give me a lot of up and down, just very little. But it's going to give me more than just if I had used a pop dot. So now I can use this kind of tape, foam, this kind of tape, or I could use glue to glue it down. So I'm going to put it on this, behind this one dice, and then I'm going to put another one behind this one dice. So I'm going to make another one, and this should be enough to do another one. So again, I'm going to start. I'm going to fold, and I'm going to fold. And when I'm folding, I'm pushing the fold. I'm going to fold again, and I think one more fold. So I'm going to add tape to seal it. Fold it, and there we go. And then another one on top. Oop. And put it there. And then add tape to the bottom of all of them and position my card toppers onto the card. So I think I'm going to do these first. And these were just little, I just took a picture of some dice and cut around the background. Okay, so that goes like that, and then put this one, I think, over like this. No, maybe like this. Kind of want to put it cat hair. Yeah, maybe like that. There we go. Let me see. They definitely don't move. So now I have to come up with a way to incorporate my hole punch. Oh, I think I know how to do my hole punch. So I'm going to grab my, I have, where is it? Long time no use. Crocodile, the smaller, and I'm going to put holes in my cards as if they have a little. There we go. So I don't need to do it on the other ones because you can't see them, but like all of them have holes. And there's my hole punch. Easy peasy, not to stress it out. Don't overthink it. So there's my card. Now I could overthink it and do something else, like splatter some ink or something, but I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to let it be. This is my card, and it's ready to mount onto a card base, but I have to cut some card bases. I'm out of card bases, so I have to make some. So maybe I'll do those later. But in the meantime, I'm going to trim off this little part that hangs down. But that's it. I think that's it. And I think the dice are in the right scale for the game. Because I thought maybe they were too small, but no, I like it. So that's my card base, or my card for episode 103 of Craft Roulette. Until next time, take care. Bye.